welcome to Typical Topics. I had to look at the sheet again because I was already forgetting the name. This is Kristen Osborne here.
Griffin Stone.
And we're just a couple of Concord University students from the town of Princeton, West by God, Virginia, just deciding to do a little vlog, podcast-ish kind of thing. So I guess we're gonna do our little introduction video right now, and we're gonna talk a little bit about ourselves and what we're doing here today. So yeah. Why don't you start off?
Okay, so of course, go to Concord. I was actually raised in Hinton, West Virginia, which is like 30 minutes from here. And my major is psychology. So I'm interested in like behavior of like people, animals, pretty much just behavior all around. And also the human mind, minds of animals, that kind of thing. But I'm also a musician. I take a lot of pride in the local community, so I like to show it off, and I think that's mainly why we're doing the vlog.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yep. Okay, so I'll take over. I'm Kristen Osborne. I'm a communications broadcasting major here currently at Concord University. I graduate in just a few weeks, which is terrifying and exciting at the same time. I'm going to be attending Savannah College of Art and Design for graduate school, where I will be studying film and television and hopefully working in the movie industry or television industry here soon. So eventually this vlog is going to get a little difficult to manage because I will be about 3 states away.
Yeah,
that'll
be fun.
Yeah, but we're gonna work on it. We're gonna see if we could do some like telecommunicating through like Google Hangouts or something and eventually do it that way. But for now we have a few weeks to do this vlog, and we're gonna, just start it off and see what we can do and go from there.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for the About Me section.
Yeah.
So do you remember how this idea came up?
It was pretty much just you and me like sitting in a subway sides.
Yeah, we were like right down the hallway there.
And it was pretty much just us going back and forth talking about like weird times that we've had at Concord, or like just different college experiences, parties, that kind of thing.
Then we were just kind of like, oh hey, this would be like a cool like podcast idea. Yeah. And it was like, yeah, we've always wanted to do a podcast and vlog or something, and talked about it at first, and then one day I was just like, oh hey, let's just go ahead and start this. Let's just do it.
It's on my bucket list, so definitely. Has like nothing to do with my major, but I love like YouTube videos in general and just watching people ramble on, which is pretty great. So
it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
And then editing process and making fun stuff happen within the video, and little like falling words everywhere and sliding things and noises. Sliding things, little crawls across the screen and fun broadcast stuff. But yeah, I guess we should explain a little bit where we're at right now. We're actually on Concord's campus. We're in the SGA office room, which used to be the commuter lounge. And I had no idea that this was the SGA office anymore until today.
Yeah, it's really cool. It took us a long time to like move everything down here, especially like the nice leather couches and that kind of thing. SGA's pretty awesome. I'm actually the ombudsman this year for SGA. So I'm usually the guy that everybody kind of complains to or like makes memes of and that kind of thing.
Oh, by the way, I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh yeah?
Just kidding. I just figured it. Because everyone comes to you with all those problems.
Good stuff. Yeah. It's fun.
So yeah, Griffin's a member of the SGA, but so this used to be the commuter lounge for the longest time. I don't use the commuter lounge a lot. However, I am a commuter. I live 10 minutes down the road, but I haven't used the commuter lounge in like a year and a half. So I guess that's why I didn't realize this was now the SGA room. So when I called you earlier and I was like, oh, I don't remember where the SGA office is, and you said it was next to the game room, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's where the commuter lounge is too.
Yeah, I could have just said it like it's the old commuter lounge and that kind of thing, but the commuter lounge actually got moved way over beside Subway, and it has like this huge room now. It's like 3 times the size of this one, so.
Yeah, so this one was, could get a little cram-packed, so I totally understand that. So we kind of just decided it would be fun. And there's a specific layout we're kind of trying to go with too, with how we do this. So we really want to talk about just life experiences and tell these stories and, you know, just like typical topics that you talk about on day-to-day basis, like, you know, first kiss and first dates and, you know, bad experiences. We actually have a little board that we're gonna work with here in a little bit to decide on our first little topic to breeze through today. So, but we decided this would be a whole lot of fun to just talk about these topics and then maybe talk about some social issues dealing with these topics. Griffin and I are both very into local businesses and local artists and promoting people and helping the town of Princeton and Athens just, you know, grow and get better. So at the end of every show, we're going to promote a local business and maybe talk about it, list some website information for you guys to look into, and you know, different things like that. And we have a special treat for you today. Actually, it's more of a treat for us.
Oh my God, that was so cool.
I'm sorry.
That was great.
Okay. So, are we ready to go ahead and like pick our first topic, or do you want to say anything about like the purpose of this show?
Well, again, just kind of like hitting on that, we're both like super passionate about the different local businesses here. I know so many like local bands and like local businesses that are really cool that it seems like nobody else on Concord actually knows these bands and that kind of thing, or the local places. Like there's a local open mic night that happens on Monday nights, and it's awesome that nobody's ever heard of. I have to like bring people over all the time in order to like expose them to it. So. Mm-hmm.
And it's great. It's an awesome hangout. We're hoping to get them on this little vlog as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
hold this up like a little.
Let's pick some topics. Yeah, here we go. So we're going to roll the dice of topics. Topics. Which is a little game we're coming up with to help us choose the topic that we're going to talk about today.
Topics.
Yep, topics right there. So I have the dice right here. The die. The singular die.
Yeah, the die.
The correct. Okay.
I think
it is die.
Die. Okay.
Singular is die. Plural is dice.
That makes sense.
Right. So we're going to roll the die of topics, technically.
Yeah.
Because it's the singular die. Okay. So we're going to roll the singular die of topics.
Do you want to do it on the board?
I'll roll it on the notebook,
okay.
And then you can hold up the topics still. So as you can see, we have them numbered, and whatever number the die of topics lands on is the topic that we will talk about. Okay. All right, drum roll, please.
Okay, that does not work with one hand.
Nope, not quite. Okay, and 4. What is number 4? Musical experiences. Oh man. So we're gonna talk about, I guess, some good and bad musical experiences that we've gone through. So, okay. Why don't you start? Because you were talking earlier about how you had a really good story for this one.
Okay, so musical topics. Whenever I was around 12 and 13, I was actually a part of a band. It was like with me and a bunch of friends back whenever MySpace was a huge thing.
Oh yeah, and now it's like, now MySpace is like the like big, awesome music hangout spot or whatever.
It is? Really?
Well, at one point it was. A few years ago, when I was working at Princeton City Pool, this kid I went to school with was just like, guys, listen, MySpace is cool again, okay? Because you can do all sorts of music stuff on there and listen to music stuff, and I was like, okay, cool.
I never thought I'd hear that again in my life. Like, MySpace is cool again.
Now.
Yeah.
Listen to me, it's great. But this kid was so excited about it. He said, it's all music related now. And of course, I've forgotten my username and password because MySpace was a thing back in middle school. So I haven't been on there since then.
Well, so what pretty much happened was, like going back to the story, so pretty much my friends had contacted me on MySpace because it was like over the summer we hadn't seen each other, and they messaged me, hey, we're looking for a guitar player and that kind of thing. Would you be interested in joining? Because I told them a while back that I was learning guitar, and I was getting decent at it, like learning 3 or 4 chords. I was 12 at the time, not like what you would call talented, I guess. And it was pretty funny because like I only knew like the 3 or 4 chords and like Plush by the Stone Temple Pilots on the guitar, and they were like, okay, that's awesome, you're in. And we went through like 3 or 4 practices, and it turned out that I wasn't so good at the guitar, and they're like, okay, we're gonna move you to like cowbell in the very back of the band.
No.
So I was like the kid in the back with like a weird bowl cut haircut, just sitting there like whamming a cowbell in the background of all this music, and half the time it was offbeat anyway. But the band, surprisingly, like, we actually toured around West Virginia. Like, we played at the State Fair one time. We played at a nursing home one time, which they knew how to party.
And all you did was play cowbell?
All I did was play cowbell. And we even had, like, T-shirts. There was 2 CDs, one of which I was a part of, one of which was before my time. And it was pretty great. I'm still friends with a lot of the members and that kind of thing, but we kind of just did the classic, like, stereotypical band breakup kind of thing and just split off into different paths. So, it was pretty cool.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. So this was back when you were first learning to play guitar?
Yeah.
And everything?
Yeah. It was a band called BFBC, Big Fish and the Bamboo Cutters. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, so my very first band experience, you know, like musical band, you know, rock band kind of thing. So we were barely even a band was the thing. So the way that it started was it was at my high school, and a bunch of guys that I was friends with were signed up for the talent show, and they, you know, were playing a song by the Killers, and I sang like a karaoke version of Hurt by Christina Aguilera. And so we were just like involved together throughout the talent show process. And what happened was, you know, after the talent show, the guys were like, oh man, you have such a great voice, you should like join our band. And I was like, oh cool, yeah, I've always wanted to do a band thing. So it was like extremely exciting. So we all met up one time at my friend's house who lived in my neighborhood. And we were trying to like play in his garage. And I sat there and then said, okay, so we need to find a song that's easy to do, that we can all like kind of just jump into. And it's, you know, decently easy to learn. And we all kind of know. So I suggested What's Her Name by Green Day, because, you know, it starts out, the first half of the song is just that little drum beat.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I completely thought that you like forgot the band, like the name of the song or something like that. Like, What's Her Name? Yeah.
Oh no, the legit song What's Her Name?
Okay.
On American Idiot album.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's just like really simple and like tiny little guitar riffs at the beginning, and then goes into the breakdown a little while through. So, and I knew the song pretty well, and so we got there, and my friend who lived in the neighborhood sat there and did not even learn the song until we showed up. And goes and listens to it like 2 times and goes, okay, I can do this. And nobody else even learned the guitar parts, the bass part, or anything. And instead, what they all did was sit there and be like, look what I can do on guitar. Look what I can do on drums. Look what I can do on bass. Oh. This is super cool. And I stood there like, are we gonna do something? And they sat there and went, listen to me wail on this guitar. And so I was like, okay, never again am I going to try to be in a band, because this is stupid. Really, really stupid.
All right, I feel you. Yeah, I mean, I could always like wow you with my cowbell playing skills. But,
exactly,
yeah.
Because everything needs more cowbell.
Yeah. All right.
Do you have another fun band story?
Let's see.
I have a few.
I have a few good ones. All right. So it was my first time playing at a coffee shop, and that's like my huge thing now. Is I always played at different like local coffee shops all the time. And what I ended up doing was, this was like later on down the lines whenever I actually learned how to play more instruments, and I learned how to play ukulele. And I remember distinctly that whenever I got up there and started playing ukulele, there was this one guy in the back that just kept on making noise. Like, he just would not stop. Finally, I just like stopped mid-set, and I just like told him, hey man, I'm trying to play here. And he got up and he was actually like trying to fight me. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he was like on testosterone boosters or what,
oh,
but he just like went crazy. Like, you would not expect this in like a coffee shop, because it's supposed to be like nice and chill. You're supposed to like have a nice hangout session, and this guy was just like sitting there yelling in the back anyway, like just having full-on argument or discussion. I don't even know which one it was, but he gets up and starts coming after me, like going up to the stage, and finally the shop owner out of nowhere like tackled him, and that just like freaked. I don't know. I was completely freaked out at that moment. I was just like walking out, and I was afraid to like perform again for some time. It was really, really weird.
How does that kind of activity even happen in a coffee shop? That's something you'd see in a bar.
I don't know if he was like jacked up on caffeine or like put some steroids in his coffee or something like that. I don't know, but it was intense. It was really weird.
That sounds intense. I couldn't even imagine. Well, okay, so I have one other music-related story, and it actually has to do with last night. So, okay, so I'm in the musical for this semester. We're doing You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, and you know, I'm a little side character, and you know, it's really cute and it's fun. And as of right now, like, what is today? It's April 7th. Today's April 7th. It's snowing outside for one thing, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's pouring in the snow.
Typical things you see in West Virginia. But it's April 7th, and opening night is on April 12th. So we have 2 rehearsals left, which will be our dress rehearsals on Monday and Tuesday. Well, last night we were supposed to rehearse again with the orchestra. Keep in mind, opening night is Wednesday. We've rehearsed with the full orchestra one time, which is exciting. And also, something got scheduled last night. There was this Christian rock concert, Sidewalk Prophets, played last night here at the school. One of our musical members, actually, the guy who is playing Linus, set up this show, and he set this up way before Charlie Brown was even like really going on, and it was scheduled to be in the auditorium, this rock concert. Okay, well, our auditorium shares a backstage to the small theater, which is where we rehearse and where we are doing the actual Charlie Brown performance. So there's no like wall to separate what goes on from the auditorium and the H.C. Paul Theater. So the band concert was going to play at 7 o'clock, and we had rehearsal from 6 to 8 is what we were supposed to have. So we sat there and said, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll come in at 6 and we'll rehearse for an hour until they start.
Okay.
And I figured we'll go until we just can't think anymore, and, you know, then we'll just leave and we'll rehearse later. Well, so we get there last night because we were supposed to have a semi-dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
So we get there last night and all the lights are turned off, backstage and on stage in the Paul Theater and in the auditorium pretty much, because there's flashing lights everywhere for Sidewalk Prophets. And I get there and I'm like, what's going on? And they said, we're not allowed to use the lights. And I was like, oh, why? And I guess it was because since, you know, they have this like pre-show setup, so they had to get all the lighting and everything ready. They had to have all the lights off by 6 o'clock, I guess. And, you know, we got there, and so there was nothing we could do. We couldn't turn the lights on, so we couldn't rehearse. But we still needed to repaint the floor, because the yellow paint we've painted the floor yellow for Charlie Brown and everything. And previously, the previous play we did was, what was it called? Suddenly Last Summer by Tennessee Williams. We painted the floor checkerboard white and black. Okay, white is much easier to cover up than black, if you think about it. And we did not put a coat of white nor a coat of just black before we painted yellow. So we had to put like 5 coats of yellow on this floor.
Gosh.
And the yellow paint is crappy, and it keeps like tearing up every time we move the boxes, because we have boxes for the set. So we had to repaint the floor. We plugged up 9 lamps, opened up a door, and had an office light on to be able to see, to paint, and to like put felt on the bottom of these boxes. So this is, you know, basically an inconvenient musical experience because of the fact that, for one, you know, our musical couldn't rehearse, and then this band is playing next door, and there was nothing we could do about it. So it was like a super huge inconvenience, but everything just got scheduled way too close together. There wasn't enough communication, and that's what happened. You know, it's a thing that happens, but it's aggravating.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course, nerve-wracking, because opening night is in about 4 days.
Yeah, I've never been a part of a performance or something like that. I think the closest I've come to that is being like a stagehand, and that was pretty cool. My cousin Zach, he actually like puts on all these different plays with this group called Ars Creo, and it's really, really cool. It's really thought out. I could never do something like that, because just like getting him on stage and actually like acting and that kind of thing. I'm a lot better with playing, but just acting in general, it's weird.
It takes some time to get used to.
Yeah,
it really
definitely
does. But it's fun once you get used to it.
Oh, cool.
Well, let's choose a few more topics to talk about.
Yeah.
All right. And drum roll again. Here we go. 1. Pet.
Pet.
Why'd you put pet?
I don't know. Just gonna mark that one out.
What were you supposed to put?
I think it was pet stories, maybe?
Oh.
I just kind of like.
And you just put pet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about pet next. Oh man. Okay, so first pets maybe?
First pets.
Yeah, let's talk about a couple of first pet stories.
Alright, so first pet story. I had this gigantic St. Bernard named Maggie, and she was just... I don't think my parents actually realized how big she was going to get, and I was like right around 5 or 6 at the time. And this dog grew up big enough to where I could like ride her in like just like a horse, like going into battle or something like that. And I got really like used to it, and Maggie would let me do that all the time. Like she'd just like literally just let me hop up on top of her and just ride around the house. And my mom was in the kitchen cooking something, and immediately I started like running in with like a little foam sword, actually like riding in on Maggie. And I was like, what was it, 6 or so? We adopted Maggie and that kind of thing. So she was already like pretty big at the time we got her, but then she just kept on getting bigger and bigger, and it was just really intense. We came like crashing into through the kitchen. My mom freaked out, dropped like everything she was cooking, everything she was doing, started yelling at me, and immediately like Maggie just started running away from mom, and I was still like attached to her back and that kind of thing. So we pretty much just like went flying through the house, and I was trying to figure out a way to hop off, and it didn't happen. I ended up like hitting my head on a dresser, I think it was, and then just like laying there like, I can't believe I actually lived past that. But
Did you get in trouble with your mom?
I got in so much trouble. Yeah, I wasn't allowed to like ride Maggie around anymore, but
Well, I can understand why you wouldn't be allowed to ride your dog around anymore.
I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. Okay, so a couple of first pet stories. Let's see. So I'm going to talk about like the first pet that I'd had in a long time, I guess, because this is a special story to me, just because of the fact that everyone should now be aware that I have a problem with dead fish. And it's just a really weird thing. And I can't completely explain it, but I think I've been traumatized by dead fish. I can't stand the look of them. Now, if they're alive, it's fine. If they're cooked, it's fine. But freshly dead fish, I cannot do it.
Okay, alright.
And it makes me, sometimes I have a hard time even talking about it because it makes me like nauseous and like gag. And I don't know why, but it's just, I had fish for a long time growing up, and when they die, I'd get really upset. And so the first pet fish that I had in a long time, so like I had pet fish previously, but the next pet fish I finally got was when I was in college and I was a freshman. And I lived on campus for my freshman year just to, get out there and experience it and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I roomed with one of my friends from high school the second semester. And one night, we had to go out to Walmart to get a plunger, and we came back with a fish, and we named him Rubik, and he was a little beta fish.
Oh my gosh.
And so we bought him, and then, brought him home, had a good time with him. Then later on, my roommate's boyfriend got her own beta. So I kept Rubik, she had her own. And then after I ended up moving out and back into my house, I kept Rubik. So had Rubik and everything, and he was a cool fish. I thought he was awesome. Cool fish. He was a super cool fish. He looked awesome. He was like a hardcore looking fish. So he was like this blackish purplish indigo color.
Okay.
And his fins looked kind of like spikes that you'd see on like a mohawk or something. It was really cool. So had Rubik, and after a while of having him, I noticed some funny things happening to him. So like some of his fins, like the mohawky looking fins, were like falling off and like, shrinking, and he was, discolored, and eventually he would just float near the top of the tank. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's wrong. So I looked it up, and there's apparently a thing with fish called swim bladder disease.
Swim bladder disease.
Swim bladder disease.
Okay.
And it causes fish to sometimes like lose some fins and discoloration, and they kind of float. They'll float near the top because they're trying to get air because they have trouble breathing. And they'll typically float vertically, which is what he was doing after a while. And they float vertically because basically swim bladder disease is a fish being constipated. So, and it right? I know. I mean, it's just really weird. So fish can get this disease. I forget how exactly, but it can happen, and it causes them to float vertically like that, and what you can do is feed them half of a boiled pea. So like the inside.
Yeah, I've read about this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can feed them half of a boiled pea. You take the outside of it and then like cut it in half, and then you feed it to them. So I fed my fish half a boiled pea for like 4 days, trying to get him to eat because he wouldn't eat, because he was constipated and all this sad stuff, and it was not working. And day by day by day, he was looking worse and worse. And I looked at him one morning, and I said, buddy, you're looking rough. And he looked at me like, I know, dude. So thankfully, my very dear friend Brooklyn was coming over that day.
Oh man, here we go.
Because, so Brooklyn is a great friend of mine, and I'm sure she will be watching this very soon once we get this done. So wave to Brooklyn. Hi Brooklyn, we love you and we miss you because you're in Morgantown and you suck because you're not here. But I know I'm going to be sucking soon. Anyway, my very dear friend Brooklyn was coming over that day to spend the day with me because it was a snow day. We were going to watch the entire American Pie series.
All right.
Because we just hadn't done it. So we had to do that. And she came in, and it was during a snow day. And her dad had to drive her to my house because she couldn't get out of her neighborhood because her car got stuck in the snow.
Okay, yeah.
So her dad drove her to my house, and she came in my bedroom, and she said, how's the patient doing? And I said, he's not doing good. She knew all about Rubik. And she looked in the tank and said, Kristen, he's dead. And I said, no, he cannot be dead because I have a problem with dead fish still yet. And I was telling her, Brooklyn, you're going to have to flush this fish for me because I can't do it because I will throw up and cry. And so she sat there and said, no, he's really dead. And I said, no, he's not. Sometimes you just have to tap the tank because sometimes he's just really exhausted because he doesn't feel well. So you have to tap the tank and then he will kind of wake up. She said, no,
I feel like he went through like the full like 5 stages of grief or like however many. Like you finally got through acceptance and that kind of thing.
Not quite.
No.
And so she said, give me the net and I'll go flush him. And I was like, okay. And so I go in, I get the net. She picks up the bowl. She's walking, and I'm walking behind her. And she said, wait, hold on, false alarm. He is alive. He just shot to the top of the bowl. So he was like at the bottom. And once she shook the bowl carrying it, he just went to the top. And she said, never mind, he's alive. I was like, okay, thank God. So she put him back on the dresser, and I watched him. He was at the top, and then he kind of floated down. And I was like, okay, we'll check on him in an hour and see how he's doing. Go back in an hour, and she looks at him, and she says, oh no, he's really dead this time. And I said, are you sure? She said, I'm positive. He is really dead. So we took him and the bowl and the net to the bathroom. And I turned around because I couldn't watch. She scooped him out, put him down there. I recited a little bit of "Oh Captain, my Captain." She flushed him, and I said, are you sure? When he went into the toilet bowl, she said, I'm positive. He just sunk right down, and he did not move.
Oh.
So he was for real dead that time.
All right.
And it was...
I'd hope so. I mean, you don't want to like flush a live fish.
No.
Yeah.
No, you really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It was a difficult experience, but that was the last fish that I will ever have.
All right. Makes sense.
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah, I had a beta that went through something very similar to that. He didn't last as long as your fish. He just kind of like, although I think a part of it is I forgot to boil the pea. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh
So
no,
I
you
just
gave it a raw pea?
I just tried to give him like a raw, like frozen pea, and it didn't last very long.
No.
Yeah.
It typically won't if that happens. All right. So we've done pets and musical experiences. We have a few left, so here we go. Drum roll once more. And 6.
Job experiences.
Job experiences.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Should I start?
Yeah, go for it. You got this.
Okay, let me think. I have not had many jobs.
Okay.
I really haven't. And all of the jobs I've done have been a little, like semi-arbitrary even. Like my first job was working at Princeton City Pool. And it was gross. Working in a public pool is just gross.
Okay. Was it just because like the stereotypical like old people coming in like really, really weird swimsuits, that kind of thing, or?
No.
No.
Because people are gross.
Okay.
Mainly because people are gross.
Okay.
And it's something to deal with the bathrooms. I'm going to spare everyone their ears with this story, so I'm just going to go to a different job experience. So instead, Griffin's going to drop the board of topics.
Just drops mic.
Makes noise. Oh gosh, what's a good job experience story for me to tell? Oh man, okay, so here's a kind of funny one. I went to the mall with a couple of friends once, and it was back when Hobby Lobby was first opening in the Mercer Mall.
Okay.
And so what we were doing was just seeing if we could try to get a job there for the summer lined up. So we went and we had signed, we went ahead and, filled out the applications and things like that. And it was right when they were opening. So they said that we would have to work on a specific day to like start, opening the store. And it was like the week before classes ended. So it was like finals week, and we were like, hey, so we have finals this week, so we wouldn't be able to like help open the store because of these things. And they said, there's some possibilities we can talk about. There are a couple of things that we can talk about. Hand motions because, businessmen and stuff, manager, and said, we'll give you a call, let you know if we can work around it.
Okay.
And I ended up applying at American Eagle also because they were just like, hey, if you want a job, you can have a job here. Ended up being one of the worst jobs I've ever had. It was stupid.
At American Eagle?
At American Eagle, yeah.
I thought that would have been pretty cool. I mean,
No, one of the managers was just awful. And I did every single job one time and then got let go without even being told because I was apparently summer help and I wasn't told.
Oh my gosh.
But that's for another day. So, my friends had already worked at American Eagle. So they were like, hey, just sign up here. And I was like, okay. Ended up being a bust. So, after a while, never heard back from Hobby Lobby. And it was just odd because I didn't understand why I never heard back. Didn't even get a thing saying, thanks for your application, but sorry you didn't get it. And then, you know how on Facebook you can go through these filtered messages and whatever?
I think so.
So, like, sometimes you don't get messages.
Oh, yeah, like a spam mail kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of like that. So, like, sometimes you won't receive messages, and then you can go into a certain setting and look at these messages. I found a message. I'm just going to read it to you.
Oh, no.
I found a message in my, message thing for filtered messages.
She's very, technologically savvy and that kind of thing. My message thing.
Oh, yeah. Super technologically savvy. You know what? It's not here anymore. That's weird. Hold on. No, that's just message requests. I still have. Let me find it. Because it's a good one. Let me tell you that. They've changed stuff. See, you can have secret conversations.
What?
You can have secret conversations. Your messages are already secure, but secret conversations are encrypted from one device to another. You can choose to make these messages disappear, and you can still report conversation even for a short time after.
Wow.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
I wonder what secret conversations are for. Is that for
I don't know.
Oh no. Your side chicks and whatever.
Yeah, your side chicks and secret government stuff.
Oh yeah. James Bond uses that all the time.
Sure so.
Encrypted messages.
I'll just tell you what the message said. So basically the message said this. Now I don't know if this message came up because I posted something on Facebook saying I applied to Hobby Lobby, or if it was during the time where Hobby Lobby was having some of the controversy about having the women on birth control and things like that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because I think I shared an article about it. I don't know if it was because one or the other. But I was going through my filtered messages a while later, and I found a message from some random woman that I didn't know, and I wasn't friends with. And it said, if you are a devil worshiper, you would probably not enjoy working at Hobby Lobby. It is for good Christian people, and you are probably not going to enjoy working there. So, hail Jesus, or something along those lines. And
hail Jesus.
And it didn't say that, but it was something along those lines.
Okay.
Specifically starting out with, if you are a devil worshiper, you may not enjoy working at Hobby Lobby.
Who doesn't worship Satan on the side every now and then?
Exactly, because everyone does. And the thing is, I'm not even a devil worshiper. If I were a devil worshiper, you're right, I probably wouldn't enjoy working at Hobby Lobby. I don't care, though.
I don't think you would regardless, to be honest. I mean, if there's people like that are just like, hey, you devil worshiper, get out of here, we don't want your kind.
People are so quick to jump to conclusions.
Yeah. That's just weird.
Do I seem like a devil worshiper? I mean, I might, a little bit on the outside, but...
Leave that below in the comments if you're commenting.
Yes. Please, do I look like a devil worshiper? It's okay. You can tell me the truth. I won't be offended. I just thought it was funny.
I'm curious now. We should draw up a survey or something like that. Does this woman look like a devil worshiper?
Let's for sure see how that happens. We'll see what happens with that.
All right. I'm pumped.
Wow.
Alright, so let's see, my job experience. I was thinking about which one I could tell you guys, and I think what I've come up with is, I used to work at a coffee shop, / live at a coffee shop, because I wanted to explore and be independent and that kind of thing for my parents. And this was like before I got into college. So I decided, okay, well, I got an offer from this coffee shop that I went to all the time. I pretty much grew up in this coffee shop. And they had a spare room upstairs. So I decided that I'd work in exchange for like staying up in the room and that kind of thing. And I'd get it paid a little bit on the side and that kind of thing, which was cool. Not really on the side, I was hired, but like I'd still be getting paid a little bit while we're like living up there.
He was getting paid on the side, folks. Ooh. You made it sound really sketchy.
Yeah, I promise it doesn't sound that sketchy of me staying in the attic of a coffee shop. I mean, there's no underground operation.
And getting paid on the side.
And getting paid on the side.
No big deal.
Okay, so what pretty much happened is I was really good friends with the owner, of course, and I started living up like up top in that like the attic area, which was like renovated. It wasn't sketchy or anything else like that. It was actually a pretty nice space. And what ended up happening is I was also hired as the innkeeper because it was a bed and breakfast up there too. So I was above the people that were staying at the bed and breakfast. And every now and then, I don't know why, I would just get like really bored. And me and the manager figured out a plan to like make them believe that the place was haunted or whatever. So like whenever they were coming in and that kind of thing, Verona, the manager, would be pretty much saying, oh yeah, this like the chestnut's haunted, there's this ghost called Uncle Tommy and that kind of thing. That was her uncle. And she just loved to joke around saying, oh, Uncle Tommy's still here and that kind of thing. So at night I would actually like stomp a little bit, just like walk around, stomp, so like the people like underneath me could hear, and they like the next morning after they would hear like the footsteps, they would come downstairs and like ask Verona, hey, is there anybody living over top of us or anything else like that? And she'd be like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. There's nobody else staying that night. So it was very cool. I think we actually tricked 3 or 4 guests into thinking that the place was haunted, and there was actually returning customers that wanted to come back because the place was haunted.
That's hilarious.
It was really cool. It was a lot of fun being Uncle Tommy.
Oh my gosh. I want to freak people out and making them think that some place is haunted. My brother hasn't done that before. He's just, my brother would used to like to just, walk into the house all of a sudden. He lives down the road from us, and at this point he was living in Beckley, but one time I was in the shower and I was home alone. And
how like all horror movies start.
Oh, exactly.
Girl in the shower, just home alone.
Yes, exactly. And Psycho was running through my head as this incident happened. And it's important to know that my brother is at the time he was a guard for a local jail. So he's also very big on wanting to be a police officer. He works in home confinement now, so he has this huge cop fantasy in his head. And my brother just likes to burst into the house sometimes and stuff like that. So I'm in the shower. I know no one's home, and I know no one's supposed to be home. And all of a sudden, I didn't have any music playing or anything, and I hear these loud footsteps coming up the stairs, and I thought I was just imagining it, and then all of a sudden there's this banging on the door, so it's like,
oh my gosh.
Open up, it's the police. And I was so confused as to how the police would be in my house because I didn't hear a door bust open. All I heard were the footsteps and then that. And so I sat there and I went, what? And then I heard it again. I said, open up, it's the police. And I recognized the voice, and it's my brother John. And I said, John, what are you doing? And I hear, it's the police. And I said, just shut up and give me a minute to get out of the shower. I will be done soon. And he goes, okay, and walks away. And so
okay.
I get out of the shower. I'm like, what are you doing? You scared me half to death. And he said, that was the point. Trying to make you freak out. And he was like, did you really think the police were here? And I said, no.
I feel like that would break a few rules and that kind of thing. Just storms up into the house.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I had a dead body or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now I knew that I wasn't wanted for murder or any kind of conspiracy or...
Oh, she's wanted for murder.
Yes, that's exactly right. I'm a devil worshiper, I'm a murderer. I do all of these horrible things. This is a great reputation for me right now. So, yeah, it was fun. That was a little off-topic side story there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about our little special treat for the day. You guys are going to understand in a minute. It's going to be great. So today's local business that we are promoting is Cupcake Kisses. We have a couple of their sweet treats here today.
Oh my God.
I stopped by earlier and got some cupcakes since we're talking about Cupcake Kisses. Today's specials, I think, were German chocolate cupcake and carrot cupcake. Now, these are not the special cupcakes of the day, but Griffin wanted chocolate, so got him the chocolate cupcake.
Yeah.
And I got myself a pineapple upside down cupcake, because they just look amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, before we take a bite, let's just let them see how beautiful these cupcakes are.
Cupcakey goodness.
All of the cupcakey goodness. So, alright, let's just dig into some of these cupcakes.
Alright, there's no way I'm going to be able to eat this, like...
Not messily.
Yeah,
no.
not messily.
Be prepared for the mess to occur. Cheers. It's already on my nose. I wish everybody could experience these cupcakes.
Oh my God.
Aren't they amazing?
They are. These are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Is this your first time eating them?
Yeah. This is my first time with the shop and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So I've had cupcake kisses. Cupcakes.
You've had kisses before?
I've had their kisses once. I've had their cupcakes once before. Shut up, Griffin. No one likes you. I've had kisses. God, no! I've had cupcakes once before. My stepmom called me one day while I was at a friend's house and she said, "When are you going to be home?" And I said, "Oh, in a little while, after rehearsal." And she said, "I stopped by Cupcake Kisses and I'm gonna get some cupcakes. What do you want?" So I got like a red velvet and a pineapple upside down cupcake. And she said, "Hurry home or I'm gonna eat them." And I was like, "No, don't." And
don't. No.
Don't. And I got home later and I ate these cupcakes and it was like heaven in my mouth.
I thought you were a Satan worshiper.
Oh, it was like hell in my mouth.
She's a cupcake enthusiast by day and like a devil worshiper by night, so rock and roll. Alright.
Okay, so yeah, there's chunks of pineapple in this and I love it. But yeah, Cupcake Kisses is a super cool local business. They're located at 1301 Athens Road. The owner is Jessica Johnson. She's also the master baker. I think she owns it with her husband also, if I'm not mistaken. They opened this shop, how long ago was it? Maybe about over 6 months ago, they opened up this shop. It's super great. They sell a couple of different things, you know, as far as pastries, cupcakes, cake pops, pepperoni rolls. There were some cinnamon rolls while I was in there earlier. And, it's just a really cool place.
This is so good.
I know, they're amazing. Do you want your other one?
Do you want to like switch or do you want to like do other ones? Because it's up to you. I will eat either one.
Chocolate makes me sick nowadays because of my stomach.
You are a Satan worshiper.
I am a Satan worshiper.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
You can just keep the other chocolate one because I can only have a few bites of chocolate now.
Okay. Yeah, this is really chocolatey. Also, I just kind of like scarfed that down
really
as
quickly.
fast as possible. Yeah,
fast
it
as
was
you
really good.
But yeah, Cupcake Kisses is closed on Saturday through Monday.
Okay.
Is it all over my face? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
It's closed from Saturday through Monday. Every once in a while, they're open on Saturdays. You kind of just have to watch their Facebook page, and they'll be like, "Yo, we're open."
Yeah, and we'll post like a link to the Facebook page and the website and that kind of thing.
If you follow the links, if you look at the links below, you can check out their official website or their Facebook page. Give them a like on Facebook, and you can see their specialty cupcakes of the day. Usually they have a different cupcake of the day every single day. Their hours are 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. On other weekdays on Tuesday through Friday.
Yeah. Nice bite.
Thank you.
Yep.
They're just really good.
Yeah, they really are.
So if you're local,
or not so local and just want to like visit the area, yeah.
definitely visit 1301 Athens Road. It's in a little plaza down the very end. And they're super great.
I kind of want to just like eat the other one right now, but at the same time,
You don't want to die from chocolate implosion?
I mean, I'm okay with that. If I have to go out a certain way, it's going to be like chocolate implosion, you know?
If you're going to go out, you might as well go out in style.
Yeah.
But yeah, for real, these cupcakes are great. The business is awesome.
Good stuff.
It is super good stuff. Well, everybody, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this like little introduction of typical topics. We're gonna try to post our video every Saturday. Not sure if we're gonna film every Friday or if we're gonna film every Sunday or somewhere
We're just
in the
kind of
weekday.
like try to figure it out.
We're gonna wing it.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for our next episode. So thanks for watching.
Yeah. Have a
Have a
week.
sweet day.
Oh my god.